Okay, so today is Thursday, April 15th. We are now well into our second quarter. So congratulations for all of you who have actually been tracking, who are trying to figure out the buckets. I know for some of you, it's so different. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's okay. This is not a race. This is time for us to learn the skills to develop a really strong business. And sometimes for certain things, learning those skills can take longer. That's okay. It's not a race. The idea is that you learn how to do it so that you can start tracking for business purposes, tracking your numbers so that you can move into emotional intelligence, be very, very wise in your business, and use those numbers for feedback so we get off the emotional roller coaster. So I'm going to make a few changes. My very incredible dear friend Heather has been able to help me, and she is so brilliant. She just texted me a little while ago. She's like, I've got this for you. She made a spreadsheet for me that everything can import to. I made two really big mistakes. Number one, on your form, it doesn't have your name. So I have everybody's information without your names. So because of that, I will be doing all my removals next week to give you guys a chance to be count here, but I am going to tell you the honest truth. There's just under 700 people in this group, and truly only about 250 have been sending me numbers. So a lot of people are about to be removed. It's not a catch up. I'm not going to be going from a catch up. I want you guys to be the people that are here and consistent. If you're not, and you know somebody's not, just ask them to remove themselves. It's not a big deal. No new people can be added to this group. This is a 90-day stretch. It is closed. The group is closed. So please do not try to add people, add your friends. They will not be accepted. It is 90 days and 90 days only. At the next 90-day run, they're welcome to come in. It is for you guys to track for business. Okay, so with that being said, moving into this next week, there you'll see on the form, you have to put your name in. And then it'll be inputted. Because of that, because I have a way now to input the form and to track everyone's name, and I already have everybody's name in the group that's downloaded, when you're on the call live, I know normally we go ahead and report our numbers. What you're going to do is you're going to be counted here, that you counted it live. So just drop here in the comments. You can put your numbers if you want. That's totally fine. You must still then go into the form in the group and put your numbers in the Google Doc or in that Google form in the group in order to be counted, because every week it's just going to pull through who reported their numbers and who didn't, and whoever didn't, it's going to be automatically removed from the group. I have it all now set up. So because that's going to be automated, you do, even if you're attending live, because previously you didn't have to report your numbers to me separately if you're attending live. You now do have to, even if you're attending live, watching live, you have to go into the form, and you can do it before. I don't care. You just make sure you put the date and then just put your numbers in there. As long as each week your numbers are there, you're good for the group. It's the only way I can track it this big of a group. And for those of you who have been with me now for 5 or 6 of these, I'm sorry that it is this technical, but there's something really beneficial to this. I now have it all in a file, and I can track your numbers all the way back. So now you want to come to me 3, 4, 5 months from now with a problem, I can go back to where you were, look at where you are now, and I can even show you where your numbers are without even having to have you go back and look. So there's a big, big benefit to that as well. For that purpose, Heather is an absolute genius. She showed me this thing, and I was like, my mind does not work that way. And she created it for me in 5 minutes and sent it to me, and it's brilliant. So thank you, Heather. I cannot thank you enough, because it not only saves us so much time, it actually allows it to be much more streamlined. So just so you guys know, as of next Thursday, it will be a full remove, and just be aware that probably about 500 people are going to be removed. So make sure you guys are on, those people that want to stay on and want to stay tracking. So a couple things I want to cover today before we move on. Next Next week's going to be a little different. You'll still report in the Google form. Next week, I'm probably going to hop in here instead of it being a Zoom. So it will not be a Zoom time because I will be at Silver Summit. And at this time, very specifically, I'll be in the car traveling up to the lodge. So because of that, I'm going to have to do a live. I'm going to pull a few of my leaders that I'm going to be there with to do the live with you on their top tips in the group. That will be in the accountability group. So you will report your numbers next week in the form in the exact same way. And the live will be a live in the group versus a Zoom. So next week will be a little bit different. Just a reminder, that will be. So no 12:30 Eastern time call next Thursday because I will be, actually that's not, no, I will be, yes, driving. Okay. So with that being said, those are the two first housekeeping tips. Number 3, this group is very specifically for you. It is not for me. It is for you. You are here to learn the skills in tracking your numbers in business. The reason this is so beneficial is just like I am not a numbers person, as Heather's sending me these spreadsheets, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is brilliant, but I could have never made it. I'm artistic, I'm creative, my mind thinks a completely different way. And to have the numbers, to have the support, and to have the systems allows you to have a foundational business so that you can show up in the best way possible, not only for your family, but for your team and for the long-term vision of what you want to create here. Please do not tell me excuses or stories or whatever. You guys, I don't want to say I don't care, but to be completely honest, I don't care because it's for you. This is for you to track. This is for you to show up for you. This is for you to pour into yourself to learn the skills for your business for you to track. So please remember that. You don't ever have to apologize to me for your numbers. You don't have to apologize for not sending. You don't have to apologize for dropping out. I take nothing personal. In fact, yesterday, Jake Spencer said that he's like, I could pretty much tell Tara, you could call her and tell her presentation sucked. And you're going to say, I don't care. You can tell her it's great. She's going to say, I don't care. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't care. I care, but I don't care. What I care about is the information content is there for those of you who want to embrace it. What I care about is that the value you're getting, if you're willing to receive it, will take you all the way to the top. That's what I care about. I care about your teams. I care about having the resources for you for success. But whether you choose to show up in that or not, you guys, I have no opinion. That's you. That's your job. That's you as a business owner. And it may be a limiting belief thing. It may be deep personal work. It may be a lot of things. That's not on me. I'm going to encourage you to dive into that for yourself. But this is for you. So track, keep track, do your thing. We are here to support you in that. Now, I want to clarify something for the buckets, and you may need to go back and watch the videos a lot of times. It's okay, okay? You cannot double count volume. So if I have a executive ambassador stacked under an executive ambassador, so this one has 1,500 volume. This person, sorry, 2 people that are going for executive and they're stacked, 1, 2. This person's going for executive and this person's going for executive. This leg, we know the max they can take is 900. So what you would do is you would go to the bottom leader. You don't ask this one. You can ask this leader if they're going for executive or if they're going for pro or if they're going for builder to know what they're going to get from their second leg. But what you're going to do is go to the bottom leader and you're going to ask them what they're running for. And if they're running for executive, you know that they're going to come out 1,500. Now, this person above, the max they can take is 900 from this leg, which we already know is going to happen because this person's going for executive. So you know you can add 600 extra from their second leg. You can't go 1,500, 1,500. You'll come up with your numbers really off if you do it that way. So you go to the bottom to know who that leader is. You want to know who the leader is that's growing. and you work with that leader. Now that leader will go in and find their people. So if I have a leader here, when I do this, you guys, I go to the people who are gold, and I already know what, like, for example, like for Caitlin Johnson, so she just posted this in the comments. So I know what her big leg is. That's my building leg. So I know what that volume is in that leg. So then I ask her what she's going for in her outside leg. So then I can accommodate that extra volume where her other two legs ended, and then where they need to get, and then she'll tell me that volume, and that's the volume I report in my bucket. So I do that, and then I may go down in the big leg and I have someone who's elite. Well, I only know they can take a certain amount, so then I go to their second leg, and what do they need in there to hit bronze? Okay, then they need an extra, they're 2250, they need to hit 5,000 in that leg, and then I mark that volume difference in my buckets. So then I can calculate the volume difference that people are working for to decide what is coming from that leg more this month. Okay, do not double duplicate your people. This is really important if you want correct numbers. And a lot of you are not filling your personal bucket. I don't care who you are right now in this company. If you are not filling your personal bucket and putting in what you need in your personal bucket, you will not grow, because everybody should be in active phase one. There is nobody here that should not be in recruiting mode, period. If you're in this accountability group, you have to be in recruiting mode, which is your bucket one. That is your personal recruiting for that month. Who you need, how many people you need to pull in. Maybe it's some prospects that you're working on, put their names in, and then where you're looking at closing them by the end of the month so that you can place them, because that is going to be your new starts moving into the next month. It has to come from you. Do not rely on your team to recruit. If you want to have true success in this business, you must be in phase one. If you are in this group at all, period, and you are in management mode, your business will be in decline super fast, because nobody has been here long enough to be in management mode and expect to grow. Period. Doesn't work that way. So there is no, Rachel, there is no ideal number of personal enrolled ambassadors monthly. It doesn't work that way, because they could be a dud or they can be a stud. You really need to be working on quality of your business partner. So this is the other piece I want you guys to really get clear about now. First of all, number one, are you presenting? I don't care if you're brand new. I don't care if you joined. If you joined last month, guess what? You could be brand new. I want you to go to your leader and I want you to say, how can I start presenting? Ask them. Just send them a message and say, how can I start presenting? If that makes you scared, go do it. Because as a business owner, you must lead yourself. And the only way to let people know you're open is to use your mouth to talk, period. You cannot use your social media as a front to hide behind. Your social media is the storefront, but you must show up as that person. So you must. Yes. So Rachel, I'll get to that in a second, but no, it is not a number. I don't care how many people. I care about quality over quantity any day of the week. You could bring in 10 people that do nothing because they're lower level people. I'm going to talk about this in just a second. Or you could bring in one person that runs all the way. So this is really, really, really important. What you all need to be doing, though, is presenting, and you need to be talking to people to bridge them to your leader. I also want you to be on presentations. Maybe you're brand new. Great. Reach out to your leader and say, how can I start presenting? They'll let you start sharing testimonies, start getting to work, start bringing in personal customers, start bringing in personal ambassadors, so that you can show your leader that you are in the game by doing. Action produces results. Produces. Oh my goodness, I can't speak. Action produces results, period. Therefore, you need to be in action, not in your head, in physical action in this world. Reach out to your upline leader, say, how can I start presenting? And start getting in the game of presenting. I don't care if you don't have speaking skills, you will learn them. I don't care if it makes you feel sick. Good. That's outside your comfort zone. That's where you need to start. Start with one slide, start with 2 slides, start with the whole thing. I don't care, but you need to start presenting. That's number one. Number two, you need to be clear who your ideal business partner is. If you're recruiting way down, what I call low-hanging fruit, people that are just, they're going to be easy, mom, sister, friend, just to fill a position, that is not going to get you to where you want to go in your business. As a franchise business owner, you have to know, as a smart business owner, who are people that are at your level, that are your peers, that you could connect to and not be the expert. You could simply say, hey, I'm doing this thing. I actually just started. I actually don't even know how I'm doing it. I've already made a couple $100. I've already made a couple $1,000. I've already made a couple $100,000, whatever you want to say. The systems are so simple, and it's because of the person that's teaching me how to do it. You got to hear from her. Look, you don't even have to trust me. You got to hear from her. Let me grab her real quick. She's super busy. She probably only has a time or two tomorrow. I don't even know. Let me see if she's even available. Let me see. Or she's doing a call tonight. That never happens. She's very rarely does them. You got to hear from her yourself. Whoever it is, edify that leader and get your peer level connected, because here's the thing about your peers. A lot of you are recruiting down. A lot of you are recruiting people to do you a favor. If I was going into business and I spent $100,000 on my business and I opened 2 franchises and that took $100,000 each, so I'm $300,000 in now. If I was going to have someone run this business for $100,000, would I go into business with my mom or my sister? Most people, the answer is no. So stop thinking that somebody who's doing you a favor or low-hanging fruit or people that actually really probably should have been customers and really have no business being a business owner whatsoever are going to run you to diamond, because they're not going to do it, guys. I'm just being absolutely honest with you. The people that are going to run you to diamond are the people that are your peers that are actually going to come on and compete with you. Competition's good. You want people to see what you're doing and say, well, I can do what she's doing. I'm going to do that. But the second you make yourself an expert because they're in competition with you, they don't think you're better than them. They think they're better than you. It's competition. It's your peers. Those are the people who are going to run this business with you. But if you would not recruit yourself, you need to go do some up leveling for you. This is really important in designing an ideal business partner. And if you do not know who your ideal business partner is, you could not write a job description right now for the people you're interviewing for. I'm going to say this one more time. Interviewing for. I will not enroll anyone in this business. The list of things I go through, how they have to show up, what they have to do, what they have to show me, what all the things is pretty intense if I'm going to even invest in anyone to work directly with me, period. Why? Because I can run anyone to make $1 million. I promise you. I'm only going to invest in those who are willing to show up. Do you have the same belief? Well, Tara, I've never made that. It doesn't matter. Your leaders and upline have. All you have to do is become a bridge. Stop trying to be the expert. Stop trying to know it all. Use the tools in the app and bridge to somebody who's making a crap ton of money. And if you're in this group, you're surrounded by a ton of people making a crap ton of money. The better bridge you get to them, the more money you will make. And then you will also be making a crap ton of money. That's how I've done it, you guys. It's simply bridging to people. Do you all know that I still use third-party validation? Doesn't matter. I always do. Why? Because what I do has to be duplicatable to the person coming in, regardless. This is why 3-way messages are so important, regardless. Third-party validation is so important. So your new person sees that. I don't care if there's somebody that looks up to you and they trust you regardless. They still need to hear from somebody else having success. So therefore, when they come into the business, they know they're going to do the exact same thing. If you truly want this to be a long-term residual business where you're not working 100 hours a week, you have to duplicate with everyone. This is where tracking comes in. This is where it's super important. So I will never tell you how many people to bring into your business. This is a numbers game. If you recruit 10 people, 5 will do nothing. Of the 5 that do something, 1 to 2 will really go. And maybe every 1 in every 4 to 5 groups of 10 will go far. So it is a numbers game. but it is also a quality over quantity, because regardless, we're in business with people, but all business is with people. Therefore, all business, it's not just network marketing. It could be IT. It could be as a lawyer. It could be as a doctor. It could be as a salon owner. It doesn't matter. You still need clients. You still need people. People still have seasons. People still have life. People still have death. People still have things. Therefore, people will also always have excuses. So you have to know, when you're in the business with people, the more diversified your people are, the more you'll be able to balance out those seasons. And the better you are at tracking your numbers, the more you'll never be surprised when you have an up season or a down season, because you already know it's coming. Okay? So things we're going to do now, everybody's going to send the form. Everybody, if you're going to stay in the group, every single week the forms will determine it. I'll be able to input it right into Excel. It shows me who needs to be removed, and it'll be automatically removed. Okay, so that will happen as of next Thursday. So whatever is not reported by Thursday, it's going to be automatic removal, so you all know that. And then I have updated the form so everyone's name is there. You must use whatever name you use on Facebook, and it says it in the form, because that is the name that is removed from the group. So please report that. If you can upload your, no, we don't report our buckets weekly. I don't know if I pronounced your name correctly, but Shamala, I think. We do not do our buckets weekly. We do our buckets for the quarter. So you should have done your buckets for second quarter, and you should have done your buckets for the month. You will never do a bucket weekly. That would be you constantly like asking your people where their numbers are and checking, and it really wouldn't make sense. So especially, yeah, it doesn't make sense. You would do it for the month. And that is going to require you to have communication with your leaders to decide what they're going for that month, so you can properly support them and they can properly support their teams. And then you have an overall of the growth that you're going to have in those legs, so that you can then focus for your next goal. Remember, your goal may be a volume goal. Your goal may be a rank goal. A rank goal does not always need to happen. Real growth is 10%. If you're growing 10% a month, you're really growing. Some of the growth you guys have seen within your teams, or that you're seeing around sidelines, is actually not realistic for long-term business. And I do not want you to get phased by that for long-term business, because what I truly want to see is a simple 10% growth every single month means you have a really solid, strong business. If you invest in $100,000, you open $200,000 locations, you would fully recoup your money in that time, plus make a profit. That's what I want to see for you guys. You did not come here for a race. If you did, I want you to highly reevaluate the whole purpose you're here in the first place. You came here for a long-term vision for your family, for something bigger, how you could show up, how you could serve, what your purpose is. You truly doing you is the point of this. It's not a race. If you suddenly feel not good enough, if you suddenly feel like what you're doing with your growth is not as good as someone else, go do a checkup from the neck up. Look at your family. Go back to the reason why you're here in the first place and what you want your life to look like 5 years from now when you wake up on your birthday. Your life, no one else's. Then reassess that feeling. And then ask, what inspired action can I take toward that? Because that is a you thing. This business is you. Please, please, please get off the comparison game. It's not a race. For as much as I have seen certain things, and as much as I've seen huge runs and explosions, you guys, I've been around long enough to see the whole other piece of that as well. There are seasons, and there's seasons for everything. And for most people, 10% growth every single month is going to get you where you want to be 5 years out. And if you're really in this for why you came here, that's all you need to focus on and track those numbers. Now, you don't use it as an excuse. You don't use it as a comparison. Nothing is better than anyone else's. It's a different journey with a different story. Your story is just as valuable as everybody else's. It's different. Please don't compare. They all have value. They all have purpose. Your purpose is yours. If there wasn't social media and you couldn't see a whole lot of the things, ask yourself, would I feel the way I'm feeling? And if the answer is no, then you need to delete that because it's not yours. So, no call next week. I will be live in the group at some point. You will put all numbers in the forms from now on moving forward. Therefore, that way I can track, and automatically everybody is removed who has not reported those in. If you have one last thing, because somebody asked, if you have a really big leg and you don't need to track it, and you have 3 legs, you just put an X in it. Doesn't matter, because you already know you're getting the max volume. So say, like for me, my big leg, Fran's leg. Okay. I don't have to calculate that. I already know that that's all the way to Crown Diamond for me. So I just leave it. And then I just know what I have to grow my other ones. So I just put those numbers in there. Totally fine. You just put an X in it. But then I have my personal, an X, and then 2 and 3. So it's simple. Okay, guys. Hope the forms make sense. Hope all of that makes sense. The code word for this week is make sense. Somebody just dropped me a private message. You guys, I can't read private messages in here. So if you guys have an issue or question, send it to me privately on Facebook, and I will do my best to answer it that way. And I will post this recording. The code word, what did I say the code word was? I just forgot what the code word was. What did I say the code word was? Oh, it makes sense. Makes sense is the code word. Oh, bless it all. And now I'm supposed to do a podcast interview. All right, you guys, I will not see you live next week. Well, I'll see you live. I will be on, but I won't be able to see your faces. So I'll go live in the group next week, and then we'll have our next real Zoom call the following Thursday. All right. Have an awesome week. I'll see you soon. Bye.